Woo! Did I scare you guys? Yes, welcome back to my show. You may notice that there is a candle and I'm in a in my cozy bed. There's a pillow. The lighting is spooky and today, why do I look literally face-tuned? This is like a good lighting. Okay, not really. Whatever. Today I am bringing you guys an October Treehouse of Horror Tale from the Crypt spooky session, okay? I've thought about all of the scary spooky things that have happened to me and I realized there's not a lot. If we're talking about just purely like spooky and not traumatizing, then there's not a lot. I don't have a long list of ghost stories or ghost experiences, mostly because I don't give a fuck. Okay, I do not give a fuck to do ghosts. Actually, that's not true. Ghost adventuring, haunting ghosts, doing like Scooby-Doo shit, like searching for ghosts is fun. But at the end of the day, I'm not inviting demons into my aura. I'm not inviting anyone, because here's the thing, bro. I already get people obsessed with me in real life. If I had a demon obsessed with me, dude, it would literally never end. They would get attached to me so easily. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just, I'm not into it. So, but I do have a story that is particularly paranormal and scary, and I'm not gonna lie, it does involve mushrooms, so I know like off the bat like 50% of you are already going to discount the entire rest of the story, and it's valid, you know. It is valid. Usually when I tell scary stories, you guys are like, you're just, what if you were on, are you sure you didn't do mushrooms during that? And it's like, guys, that can't be the excuse for every time is that I'm on drugs. You guys also say that I'm schizophrenic, which I'm not. So you also can't only use that excuse. Is it crazy if I just hold like this candle the whole time? I kind of like it. Anyway, so before I get into the story, I need to lay down some backstory. When I was young, about 8 or 9 years old, I used to live in this old fuck ass, scary ass, middle of nowhere, in the woods, isolated 200-year-old ancient World War, Civil War house. Like type shit. Like I used to live in this old, dusty, haunted, spooky area, spooky location. And I lived there with my mom, my stepdad, my brother, and my stepsister. Throughout my life, I've experienced sleep paralysis only a handful of times. Luckily, only a handful of times have I experienced that whack ass shit. And about half of that handful, okay, was in this house that I'm gonna be talking about today. I don't remember a whole lot other than like a woman. A lot of the times I would wake up paralyzed and there's a woman with, it only happened like maybe twice, a woman with yellow ass, bright ass eyes in the corner of my room. So I don't know what the fuck that was about. I also had this other experience when I lived in this house where I don't know how to explain this at all. It must not be real. Like, I don't know what the explanation is, but it must not be what I'm thinking the explanation is, because there's just no way. But basically the layout of this house was like a chain. It was kind of weird. Me, my brother, and my stepsister all had our own bedrooms and they were in a chain. So to go upstairs, you're automatically in my stepsister's room, and then you go through my room, and then you go through my brother's room type shit. Like, it was really weird. You had to like go through everyone's room to get downstairs, basically. I don't know. I was in the middle of this chain. My stepsister's room was at the top of the stairs. So when I wake up in the morning to go downstairs, I go through her room. I remember one morning when I woke up. This is so weird. One morning when I woke up, I don't know where anyone was, but I know for a fact like no one was home. Like my sister wasn't staying there. Like she wasn't always there. Sometimes she'd be like at her mom's house or whatever. And I know she wasn't there. I remember my brother not being there. Like, I know for a fact no one was supposed to be there, which is why I was scared. Like, other than my mom, right? And she was like, I don't know, downstairs or some shit. Like, I wake up at like 11 in the morning. Like, no one else is still sleeping at that time. I wake up, I remember when I woke up, my eyes were literally like crusted shut. This is so disgusting. This has never happened to me ever again in my life, but you know when you like wake up sometimes, like I don't know, like if you like fall asleep crying or some shit and your eyes are like crusty and like, you have to like force them open. You have to like force them open. Anyone know what I'm talking about? Well, on this morning when I woke up, my eyes were literally like someone had super glued them shut. Like they were crusted shut. It sounds like I have an eye infection. I don't know what this memory. I feel like I have a lot of really weird memories when I was a kid. I was like, what was that going on there? But literally, whatever. No, like I couldn't open them. Like I was like trying to like open them and I couldn't. It was like they had been glued shut. It was so bizarre. And so I wake up and automatically I'm like, alright, I don't know, I don't fuck with this. So I'm already like on my way downstairs to like go like rinse my face with water and like, you know what I mean, claw my eyes open in the sink, right? And I'm like, they're kind of open, like I can get one open. Like it's like my eyelashes are like glued together. Like I can't get my eyelashes opened. And so I'm like, can barely see, and I'm like crusting open my eyes, and I walk past my sister's room, and I turn to go down the stairs, and I see out of the corner of my eye, I see in my sister's bed, like something. I look over, and it's like the sheets of her bed. Are like risen up as if someone is sitting on the bed, just like straight sitting on the bed with a sheet over them in the middle of the bed. And my eyes are like rusting open, and I'm like, and so I just like sprint down. I like had to do a double take because I look and then I look back with like half of my eyes open. I see that through my fucking shit crusted eyes. I don't know, I'm sorry, like is that disgusting? Like I was 8 years old, I don't know what happened. Okay, the demons, like I don't know the demons, okay? And so I like run downstairs. My mom was like outside or something, like no one was in the whole house. I go downstairs, like I remember just feeling really alone, and no one was in the house. Like I just knew, like had the scent, like the vibe. It's not that big of a house. No one was in like my mom was outside doing something outside or some shit. And so like my stepdad was at work, like no one was in there. I like get my eyes open, and then I just remember I stayed downstairs for a little bit. Like I didn't go back upstairs. I turned on like Shake It Up. I watched like the Disney Channel. I was like, I'm staying down here. I don't know what that was. And then just never again did I figure out what the fuck that encounter was. Anyway, so I had that encounter. I'm sure it was something. When I went back up later that day, the sheet was not like that. It's not like there was something under the sheet, like just like a pile of clothes. I don't know what the fuck it was. Maybe my like pissed vision. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know. I guess the schizophrenic theory's adding up, or there was a demon. I don't know what to tell you. So, and then the only other experience I had in that house was a reoccurring nightmare of I remember I had some friends who lived kind of like it was like it was in the middle of nowhere, but it was like a little neighborhood in the middle of nowhere, if that makes sense. Like there was like maybe like 10, 15 other houses within the mile. You know what I mean? Like there was some other people, and there was other kids who I rode the bus with, who I made friends with, and we would ride our bike around this like street in the woods basically and like hang out. And so I had this recurring nightmare of riding my bike, and I would go down the street to where my friends are, but you could turn right instead of going down the street. And in the dream, I turned right, and I go, which is what happens if you go down that road, up this mountain. It's like a mountain path that winds around the mountain. And I ride up the mountain, I find this cabin, I go into this abandoned cabin. There's like a trap door on the floor, and there's like a woman in the like under there like trying to get me and bring me down there and like live with me forever, happily ever after. It's like kind of like the movie what is that movie called? It's like Mama. Am I tripping? Do you guys know? It's like called like Mommy or like Mama or like Ma. No, it's not Ma. That's a different movie. It's like basically this like bitch, evil like demon bitch in the woods like tries to drag these kids into a cabin and like be their mom because her kids died. I don't remember at all. I watched the movie like 10 years ago, okay, but it was that vibes. Like it was completely that vibes, and I think probably a lot of the lore and plot was taken from that movie because I think I'd seen that movie before I dreamt this dream. But I remember thinking in the dream, like, this is like that movie. Like, mama is trying to feed me. That was weird. And the other thing that was weird is I'd never turned right on that road, so I didn't even really like conceptualize there was a road that led to a winding mountain right there. But there was. Like, that is what was down that road. Getting older, I now realize that, but when I was younger, like I had not paid any attention to that or really conceptualized that, so it was just weird that I dreamed it so vividly. Alright, that's the backstory of this house. Now I'm going to flash forward to when I was about 16 or 17 years old. I'm hanging out with my degenerate group of friends, Milo, Svetlana, and Clay, and we are in our mushroom era, if I do say so myself. And during I can't tell if the candle is just making the lighting horrible. It's like a spooky vibe, right? What if I told it like this? This is kind of eating. Anyway, yeah, so we're high schoolers. We have a bunch of mushrooms. We're always doing them. And throughout my life, I lived in that house for a short period of time, and then I moved around, and the other houses I lived in were like in a town. And throughout growing up in this, going to this school, getting older, I would hear legends of a place called, wait, I don't want to reveal what it's called. It was like a spooky area in the forest, and it was called like Purple Nurple. Like everyone called it like this weird thing, like not what it was actually called. Like it had a nickname. It wasn't called that. It was like a spookier name. But fuck, I don't want to say Purple Nurple for the whole video. Let me think of like, hold on, let me think. Oakley Dokley? No. Okay, we're gonna call it Moguli Woggly Mountain, okay? So basically, I hear legends of this mountain called Moguli Woggly, and everyone, like, what the fuck? Everyone throughout like my high school had told me stories about this. I remember I dated this guy one time, and he and his friend went ghost hunting up there, and they brought a Bible, and their car broke down and they couldn't get it to start until they threw the Bible out of the car, and then it would start and they could leave the mountain type shit. Like definitely like legend type shit. Like we don't know how much truth is to these stories, but there was legend around the mountain for whatever reason. That same ex of mine went ghost hunting there, and they like found this lake, and they said they could, in the reflection of the lake, like it was like raining like only over the lake and nowhere else. And like they went ghost hunting and they had a bunch of equipment and they recorded it, and it was like, whoa, like I don't know, like that does sound fake, so I don't know, like I wasn't there, but I just always known about this. And one fateful night, me and my friends decided it'd be a great idea to take mushrooms and then drive. Don't do this, by the way. This is alleged in Minecraft. But take mushrooms and then drive to this, what did I call it? Moguli Woggly Island, mountain woods. And like go ghost hunting in the middle of the night. Why? I don't know. See, the type of shit that I used to do as a kid was like just screaming like, I want to feel something, like type. Like, what do you mean? Like, it was screaming. What do you mean you take mushroom and go to spookily wokily? It's fucking spookily wokily. Wait, what's that one square pumpkin? You guys know what I'm talking about? Oogly woogly, the square pumpkin. What is that? Spookily dokily wokily? God damn it, whatever. So we decide, I'm the only one who has my license, so we decide to take the mushrooms and then immediately start driving there, so they'll start hitting when we get there. And I have never been one to drive under the influence. This is like a alleged story, okay? But this is one of the only alleged times that I have driven under the influence. I'm really against it. Never would I touch alcohol and drive. Other substances I slipped up throughout my youth, okay? I must admit. But it's not a good idea, so don't do that. Anyway, so we drive to this mountain. I don't know, I've never been here before, but my friends, like Milo, I think said, like, knew where it was. He said he'd been there. And so Milo, like, types in the directions, and I start driving and I'm following it. And it's about an hour away, and we get maybe 30 minutes into the drive, and I'm like starting to be like, this place, I know this place, like I know where we are. And Spookily Dokily is only 2 minutes or 30 minutes away from here, so like I didn't know Spookily Dokily was so close. I didn't know Wokily, the mountain, fuck, what did I call it? I didn't know this scary mountain was so close, you know what I mean, like to where we live. Like that's crazy. Like I wonder if I know where it is. Sure enough, we start getting there, we get closer, 7 minutes away, we turn down this road. I'm like, yeah, I used to live down this road. Turn left, keep going. I'm like, yeah, we're about to pass my house. Oh my god, we're only 7 minutes away from Spookily Dookily, and we're about to pass my house that I used to live in, the scary one that I was telling you about in the beginning. Sure enough, we passed the house. It's completely remodeled. It used to look like Monster House, like scary, but now it kind of looks nice. I'm like, oh, word. We passed the house, and then we turn right at the end of the street. And at this point, I start being like, the mushrooms are kicking in, because we took them in, like, maybe an hour and a half ago. At this point, I'm starting to be like, this shit's looking familiar. Like, I used to live here, guys, and, like, I don't know, turning right on this road invoked a feeling within me. Also, I don't know if this hat looks weird, but I got a chopped-ass haircut. I got a completely chopped haircut. I walked into the salon, I said, don't cut the length off, don't cut the side pieces, and give me a side bang. What did she do? Cut the length off, cut the side pieces, and cut off my side bangs. So my hair's gonna be in the old 1-2 for a little bit. And I'm sorry, but I just feel like does this look better? Wait, I kinda like this. Okay. Anyway. Oh, right. So we turn right down the road and we start heading towards the base of the mountain. And I'm like, this is familiar. The shrooms are hitting. We're all talking about like, oh my god, this is scary. We're in the middle of the woods and like I'm starting to feel them hit. Like I feel wonky. And I'm like, yeah, me too. And like I'm getting major deja vu. Major deja vu. Like I feel like I had a dream about this before. But the vibes are chill, the vibes are good. I'm playing like Kid Cudi or some shit. And we start driving up the mountain and it's literally like a movie, bro. It's like a spooky dark mountain with like a windy road around it. And like that's what we're driving on. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, fucking scary. Now, I will say, I don't think there's any environment in the dark woods on mushrooms that's not gonna be scary. Like, I don't know if that has anything to do with Moguli Woguli Mountain, per se, or just the fact that it's really, what do you think what is gonna happen? Hello? And as we're driving up the mountain, the vibe is just getting progressively more and more spooky, but it's in a fun way. It's almost like going to a haunted house type of thing, but just going in a spooky place on mushrooms. Like, it was a fun feeling. Like, it was low-key really fun. I was like, if my car breaks down, immediately the vibe is, because that would have been horrible. There's no service or anything. Like, oh my god, I would have started cannibalizing all my friends The candle went out. Fuck, and I can't light it because it's all wet. Oh my god, who did that? How did the candle... A ghost. Anyway, it's fucking... Yeah, it's scary. And as the shrooms... We're basically... We timed at such a sweet spot where the shrooms were hitting very miraculously at the exact moment. It's almost as if the second we entered, it started getting weird, and as we drive up the mountain, it's more and more of like an intense spooky feeling as the mushrooms are hitting more and more. Obviously all of this stuff can just be alluded to the fact that we were high on mushrooms. Like, none of it has that much basis, I'm not gonna lie. But regardless of that, it's fucking... the forest is coming alive. I've never seen forest like this where I lived. A lot of the place where I lived, it's not very biodiverse. It's the same type of bitch ass tree, just like a million of them. There's not a lot of plants and like vines and shit. Like the forest where I lived at the time was not that jungle type beat. It really wasn't. It was very barren. And this forest on this mountain, it was like types of trees I hadn't seen before. And there was these red trees, like they were red, like the shaft of the tree was red. Didn't need to do that. The tree was red. I had never seen trees like this where we lived at all. And as we're driving slowly, like the familiar trees that I know and love are turning into these red trees. And I don't know how bendy the trees are in real life, but I know for a fact in this life that I was living, they were snaking, bro. The trees all started doing this. I'm not kidding. And we were all seeing them do. All of us were equally having the same like hallucination of the trees going like this. And the way they were doing it was so like lucid. Like it was like they were like inviting. It was like the forest was breathing. We're driving up this small little path with these trees, these red trees going like this, and it was literally like they were inviting you into the woods. Like that was like an overwhelming feeling that I got. It's like these trees are inviting us into the woods. Like it was so bizarre because we were all like, we're driving up and we have the music on because we need to for the vibes to not be too insane. And we're all just being like, guys, where's the what? We're all just discussing how the trees are all equally fucking doing the worm. Like we're all acknowledging this and freaking out, and but it was also a sense of like, this is kind of cool. Like we're all seeing the same thing and it all feels the same ominous way, like to all of us. Like I love when I like would be tripping with people and we'd all have a similar experience that wasn't actually happening, I guess. And that's what was happening. And we're driving up, and it's spooky fun. It's spooky fun, very much spooky fun. And then it slowly starts getting not spooky fun, not spooky slay. Like the more we drive up the mountain, the more we lose service, the farther away we get. I'd say we're driving for like 30 minutes at this point. It just starts to get scary. We start tripping harder, and there's also like not really a way for us to turn around either. Like we're kind of just waiting for a pull off to turn around, but it's a very narrow road, that's what it's called. And there's like ditches, so we can't really just pull into the woods. We need a pull off. So we're kind of just waiting for that, and we're kind of like, this is getting scary, like let's go back, guys. And we're like fucking around. We turn the radio off and like just drive in complete silence for a little bit, and we just like, everyone was starting to get like decently really scared because it was spooky, and like it's not a place we'd want to spend the whole mushroom trip. Like we just kind of want to see. And so we're deciding it's time to go back when there was like, I believe there's like a fork in the road, like out of a movie, like Like, which one were you going? This one is gonna be hell and you will die, and this one isn't. And but like, we're not gonna tell you. Like, it felt like that. Like when we got to the fork, it felt like this is literally a test, and one of this is gonna like actually like be the wrong answer, and we're going to perish if we go down the wrong path. Like, it felt so tense. And so I don't remember, we choose one, and at one point before we turn back around to go down the mountain, we pass a cabin, and I'm looking at the cabin and it all clicks. I have a flashback to this reoccurring nightmare I used to have when I lived at that house, of me coming up this road, going into that cabin, and getting freaking freaked on by a mama. Like, you guys, I'd never been up here before. I didn't even know this mountain was Spookily Dookily Mountain. I thought that it was just the mountain that was by my house as a kid. I didn't know they were the same thing. And you're telling me there's a cabin identical to and it was like an abandoned spooky ass like cabin. Like, it was not an Airbnb, baby. It was a shed. It was like murder shack. Like, it was not, like, it was ancient. It was old. How would I have known about that as like an 8-year-old? I never went up there. There's nothing up there. There's like literally, I don't know what the point of the road is. There's nothing up there except like abandoned shit. And so I passed that and I started freaking out and explaining to everyone. I'm like, y'all, like, you guys don't understand. Like, this was in my dreams. Like, this, I dreamt of this before. And everyone, I don't remember their reaction. They were probably like, huh, like, can we leave? Like, it's getting scary. And so I'm like freaking out putting this together, and we finally find a place to turn around. We go back down. Nothing that spooky actually happened other than just like an imminent doom feeling of like impending doom. And if you never felt that, then like fucking good for you. But if you know what I'm talking about, it was the most impending doom I've ever felt in my entire life. Like, we're all now way too uncomfortably high to be in the middle of Spooky Dookie Mountain, and we're just fucking like, we're trying to get back down. We end up getting back off the mountain. Nothing bad happened. We go back home, probably like played some fucking video games or something for the rest of the trip. I don't remember. But I do remember like continuously bringing that up and being like, guys, like, I dreamt of that place when I was a kid. I repetitively, when I lived at the bottom of it, I dreamt of what was in the mountains, and I didn't know. I literally didn't know. What the fuck are you talking about? And I don't know how to explain that, bro. You can't blame that one on drugs, cause like, I didn't hallucinate in a cabin that wasn't there. Like, yeah, maybe the trees were trying to seduce me, but the cabin was there. And we went back to that mountain, I want to say 2 more times. We didn't go while we were tripping. We went while we were tweaking on much harder drugs. And I don't even want to, we almost died. We went up there and tweaked hard, did tweaker shit, and then almost killed ourselves. Not intentionally. So if you guys want to hear about that story, I could also tell that story. That one's really funny, kind of scary, but not in the same way. We went up there getting camped up there. We camped up there, but we didn't sleep because we were like tweaking. But we spent an entire night out there. Like, we went up there again, and I can tell that story. I can tell those stories as well if y'all want to hear about them. But because I went up there again, I saw the cabin the fucking other 2 times I went too. Like, that shit was real. And every time I was like, damn, like, that's crazy. Like, I can't believe I imagined that. What? Like, is that not weird as fuck? And I've not had the one other ghost experience I've ever had is when I was in middle school. I had an Ouija board, and I loved that thing. Me and my friends smoking weed and doing a Ouija board in 7th grade on a Friday night. It was peak. It literally couldn't get better than that. We would go to the graveyards. We would always go to like the cemetery and do the Ouija board there. And every single time I ever did an Ouija board, it was definitely fake. Like, either I was pushing it or my friends were pushing it. Like, it definitely was never real. But there was one fucking time I did that shit with my friend with, and her friends. We're gonna call them Dresden. I can use Dresden's name. My homie Dresden and her friend fucking Maria, okay? So basically we had done, me and Dresden always were doing this shit, and she was having her friend Maria sleep over, and we live right next door to each other on the same street. And so, not right next door, but across the street from each other. And so I came over, I was hanging out with them, I brought my Ouija board, we were Ouija-ing it, and bro, on everything, I had an uncle pass who died in a car accident, and his name was Greg, okay? And these girls don't know that. These girls have no, it happened when I was like 4 or 5 when it happened. It was my great uncle. I never brought this up, ever. They had no idea ever of knowing this information, okay? And we were playing the Ouija board, and we were in a closet, and I just remember getting this weird tingly feeling all over my body, like all of the hairs were stood up, like while we were playing it, and nothing like really real or scary was happening, but then I got this feeling of just all the hairs on my body stood up, and like just an overwhelming feeling of a presence, okay? And then we got someone on the board, and we asked them what their name was. It spelled out Greg and how they died, and it said car accident or car crash. And I just had this insane, overwhelming feeling over me. And that, to this day, I can't explain, because his name was Greg, and he did die of a car crash. And they didn't know. They didn't fucking know. And I strongly believe all the other times I did a Ouija board, it was fake. You know what I mean? Like, we were all just pushing it, right? But that time, I'm like, how did they know that? Like, I don't know. That, and like the feeling I got of like all the hairs on my body standing up. How did they know that? Right. So I don't know. I don't really concern myself too much with whether the fucking paranormal is real or not, because who gives a fuck? They're dead and I'm alive. I'm kind of focused on other bitches that are alive. I don't care about dead bitches. I don't want ghost brain. Like, I don't really care. So it doesn't concern me. And also, I think if you fixate on that shit a lot, your mind, like, it kind of attracts it, you know? Whether it's real or not, either your mind creates it or it is attracted to you. Like, I just don't care. Like, y'all are dead, bro. Like, literally, I will be dead too, and then I can figure out about the ghost realm. Like, if that's just real, I'll figure that out for literally eternity, I guess. You know what I mean? But as for now, like, I don't care. But those are the creepiest things I've experienced that I still can't encounter. Like, what? Those are the creepiest things I've experienced that I can't explain, that I'm like, okay, like, that was just some ghost shit. Like, that was some ghost, like, premonition, like, weird shit. I don't know. Like, I wasn't on drugs when I was a kid, so I didn't make that dream up. It happened. And, well, I guess I was on drugs when I was a kid, but, like, not when I was 8. Okay? It hadn't got me yet, bro. So, like, explain that one. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed my spookily dookily episode. You guys can follow me at Leftly everywhere, on Instagram, on Twitch. I'm streaming every day, but Friday and Saturday is the plan. And also, a lot of you guys asked me what my ending song is. You can find it on my SoundCloud. My SoundCloud's Leftly. It's called Subwoofer Lullaby, but make it vibey. It's a remix I did of Subwoofer Lullaby, so you can only find it on my SoundCloud, because I made the song, okay? Thank you. That's pretty much it. I hope you guys have a super cool October type beat.
and I love you so much.